Welcome to Mystery Box, where every whisper hides a secret and every shadow tells a story. Step beyond the veil of the ordinary and into a realm where reality twists and the unknown reigns. Mystery Box is your space to chilling tales, cryptic encounters, and psychological thrillers that linger long after the screen fades to black. Each episode is a descent into the eerie, crafted to disturb, intrigue, and ignite your darkest curiosities. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mystery Box, your portal to the strange, the suspenseful, and the supernatural. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a tale that twists reality. And share the darkness with someone who dares to listen. Now let's get to our story. It was January 1959. 9 young hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute in Soviet Russia set out on what was supposed to be a thrilling adventure. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student, the group was experienced, strong, and well-prepared for the harsh conditions of the Siberian wilderness. Their goal, to reach Otorten, a mountain whose name in the native Mansi language meant, "Don't go there." They didn't listen. They went anyway. The group included Igor Dyatlov, the leader, Zinaida Kolmogorova, spirited and brave, Yuri Doroshenko, known for his strength, Lyudmila Dubinina, sharp and determined, Rustam Slobodin, quiet and thoughtful, Alexander Kolovatov, the scientist, Yuri Krivonoshenko, the joker of the group, Nikolai Thibaut Brignol, calm and intelligent, Semyon Zolotaryov, the mysterious older man who joined last minute. They were all young, full of life, and eager to conquer the frozen peaks. The journey began smoothly. They skied through snowy forests, laughed around campfires, and documented everything in journals and photographs. But as they moved deeper into the Ural Mountains, the weather turned brutal. Blizzards howled. Visibility dropped. Temperatures plunged below 30 degrees Celsius. On January 28th, one member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill and turned back. He would be the only survivor. He said goodbye, not knowing he'd never see them again. The remaining 9 pressed on, reaching the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, another Mansi name meaning Mountain of the Dead. They pitched their tent on the exposed mountainside, rather than in the forest below. No one knows why. Maybe they wanted to challenge themselves. Maybe they didn't want to lose altitude. Maybe something else was waiting in the woods. That night, something came for them. February 1st, 1959. The wind screamed across the mountain. Snow swirled like ghosts in the dark. Inside the tent, the hikers huddled together. But something happened, something so terrifying that they ripped open the tent from the inside and fled into the night, barefoot, half-dressed, into the freezing storm. They ran from something. But what? No one knows. When rescuers found the tent weeks later, it was still standing. Their belongings were inside. Their boots, their coats, their food. But the hikers were gone. The search party followed the tracks, bare footprints in the snow, leading down toward the forest. And then they began to find the bodies. 2 were found first, Krivonoshenko and Doroshenko, lying near a fire they had tried to build beneath a cedar tree. Their hands were burned. Their bodies frozen. They had no shoes. No jackets. They tried to survive, but the cold was merciless. 3 more were found scattered nearby, Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin, as if they had been trying to crawl back to the tent. All frozen. All with strange injuries. Slobodin had a fractured skull. Kolmogorova's face was twisted in terror. But the last 4, they were found 2 months later, buried under 4 meters of snow in a ravine. And their deaths were different. 2 months after the first bodies were found, searchers uncovered the remaining 4 hikers, Dubinina, Thibaut Brignol, Zolotaryov, and Kolovatov, in a ravine, buried deep beneath the snow. But these weren't just frozen corpses. Thibaut Brignol had a crushed skull, the force of which was compared to a car crash. Dubinina was missing her tongue, her eyes, and part of her lips. Zolotaryov had broken ribs, and his body was found clutching a camera no one had seen before. Kolovatov's injuries were less severe, but his body showed signs of exposure to radiation. Tongue gone, eyes gone, bones shattered, but no signs of struggle. No footprints, no blood. Just silence. The injuries were so severe, yet there were no external wounds. No bruises, no cuts, as if something had crushed them from the inside. And then came the strangest part. The investigators were baffled. The tent had been cut open from the inside, not torn by wind or avalanche. The hikers had fled without shoes into deadly cold. Some had climbed trees. Some had tried to return. Others had died in poses that looked unnatural. And then came the radiation. Dubinina and Zolotaryov's clothes tested positive for radioactive contamination. Not enough to kill them, but enough to raise eyebrows. What were they exposed to? Something military? Something not human? The camera Zolotaryov held had no film. His journal was missing pages. And the last photo taken by the group, known as Frame 33, showed a blurry, glowing shape in the sky. Some say it was a UFO. Others say it was a Soviet missile test. But no official records ever confirmed anything. The Soviet government closed the case quickly, stating the cause of death was a compelling natural force. But that only made the whispers louder. Avalanche? Then why no snow in the tent? Why no crushed bodies? Military test? Then why no cover-up? Why leave the bodies? Paranormal? Then why did the locals say the mountain was cursed? The native Mansi people believed the area was sacred. They warned of spirits that roamed the peaks. Some said the hikers had disturbed something ancient. Others pointed to infrasound, a low-frequency vibration caused by wind that can induce panic and hallucinations. And then there were the Yeti theories. One of the photos shows a dark figure in the trees, watching, waiting. The case was buried. The files were sealed. The mountain was renamed Dyatlov Pass in honor of the fallen leader. But no one ever found a clear answer. No one ever returned to camp there. And every year, on the anniversary, strange lights are said to appear over the pass. Hikers report whispers in the wind, shadows in the snow. They say the mountain remembers, and it's still waiting. If this tale stirred your imagination or sent a chill down your spine, show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Mystery Box. Tap the notification bell so you're the first to uncover our next dark secret.